Hi, thanks for joining us here at Inspire. We are starting a series of virtual interviews. So this is my first one, and I'm joined by the one and only Andrew Graves, Nottinghamshire lad. He's a poet, writer, author, educator, podcaster. There's so much. I don't know what he doesn't do, but today he's joining us for a chat about his journey in his life. So, Andrew, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome, Neil. How are you doing?
I'm all good. We're online, so I think that's a good thing, and we aren't being kicked off. So I'll take that as a positive. So Andrew, you're from Nottinghamshire. Can you just tell us a bit about where you grew up, and you know what we want to know is what got you into writing? What was your creative? What was the touch paper that started you on your journey?
I was born in Mansfield Wooders, and which is not too far from Nottingham for those that are not from around here. But and then I grew up, moved to Sutton in Ashfield when I was about 11, and then later on I moved to Mansfield before moving to Nottingham City. But yeah, I mean Mansfield Woodhouse, where I grew up. I mean that was because it was a strange, because I grew up on a council estate in Mansfield Wooders, but it was a brand new council estate, and they just opened a primary school for people on that council estate, and because it was a brand new council estate, there were hardly any families there. So when I started at that school, even though it's a state school, in some ways it felt like a private school, because when I left that school, there were 30 kids and 4 teachers. Wow. So you got like so much individual time from teachers. And I remember the headmaster of that school, he was a proper old hippie. You know, even back then, I knew as a kid there was something, you know, and I remember he read The Hobbit to us, the first time he ever read The Hobbit to us. And those that have read The Hobbit know that's a book that's filled with illustrations. And he'd got these like A4 bits of card, and he'd drawn all the maps from the books onto there, and he hung them up on the wall. So when he was reading to us, we could follow the journey. So that definitely kick-started my love of reading. And then later on, when I was living in sort of Mansfield, you know, and again, Mansfield is not always seen as being this fantastically creative or artistic place, but for me it was at the time. There was quite a good sort of alternative underground sort of subculture going on in Mansfield at that time, and it was the first time I got involved with bands and writing lyrics and things like that, and then eventually tried my hand at sort of more performance style poetry. So yeah, I mean so growing up in places like that, you wouldn't think they've got any particular creative connections, but I think if you've got an imagination, if you're it's been sparked at a fairly young age, it doesn't matter where you're at, you'll find it out, and you'll seek other people who are like-minded, I guess.